Welcome to Facebook for the Blind, your look at the downfall of Western civilization through the best memes we can find each week. Ladies and gentlemen, both and neither, welcome to that time of the week we like to celebrate Facebook for the Blind, a show for the visually and Facebook impaired. And if you don't have Facebook, you are, but that's okay. We got people pulling stuff from Reddit, from Twitter, from all the terrible places on the internet, so you don't have to. And me and my beautiful co-hosts are going to have some funny memes. First, let me do an introduction. This is my co-host, Brain Damage.
Chee-hoo!
And I am your never humble host, Eric Sizemore, and we are going to have some funny memes for you. But first, a patented, trademark, copyrighted, absolutely essential part of every single episode of Facebook for the Blind. Despite everything my co-hosts say, it's... Well, actually, we got to talk about the fact that it is the 253rd episode. 253 of these things, man. This happens to be Moon Week. We went around the moon, grabbed some really awesome shots that I immediately incorporated into our thumbnails, and then remembered that Michael wasn't coming, so I took him out of our thumbnails, put Brain and I in space because we looked that cool, then made space look even cooler because it's our 253rd. But every episode has to contain the depressing news. It's been crazy. By the way, just one day after an underpaid worker set a warehouse on fire in Ontario, California, another warehouse fire is on fire in Queens, New York. Oh wait, this just in, someone tried to set the Ontario Mills Mall on fire. And if you missed the Ontario fire, he set an entire warehouse full of like toilet paper and paper towels on fire, and the employee just kept saying over and over again, all you had to do was pay us enough to live. All you had to do was pay us enough to live. All you had to do was, oh, and yes, there's more. We see here a Chrysler dealership on fire. Lampe Chrysler dealership in Visalia, California on Sunday, 6:30 in the morning. And he says, all we asked for was a living wage. And now Ohio, Orville Fire Department in Wayne County in Ohio has a lumberyard on fire on East Lincoln Way in Apple Creek. We have the little girl outside of the burning house, and it just says, all you had to do was pay us enough to live. All you had to do was pay us enough to live. I love it when the memes come back around. Hey, in news of some sort, we see that the suspect arrested after a Molotov cocktail attack on OpenAI's CEO Sam Altman's home. They have a suspect in custody, and we see Sarah Connor. So, last week, since we last talked, Trump defended the whole civilization will die message to Iran. You remember where he just threatened to wipe a civilization off the earth using those words, which is genocide and a war crime. Just hot off the heels of that, he has faced backlash over an AI image of himself as Jesus that he posted. And then he picked a fight with the Pope. Oh, and I'd like you to note that I think from now on, if I've got the time, I'm definitely going to put a crying breakfast food over this guy's face so we don't ever have to look at him again. But he picked a fight with the Pope, saying that he was very soft on crime, which I think was news to a lot of us that that the Pope's job was to fight crime. So we're just going to cover up all of that with crying breakfast food as orange as possible because I mean, double blasphemy, going for double blasphemy, doubling down on it. Here's an interesting thing, though. He did actually pull down the picture of himself as Jesus that he posted. And I'm like, that's interesting because that almost looks like shame. And I don't know if I've ever seen him do that before. Anyway, here's the Pope bouncing back saying, yeah, bring it. And he named Donald Trump. He says, I'm not afraid of Donald Trump. I'm the Pope. And he is from Chicago, so we do call him the Pope. Friend of the show, the Pope. Uh, John Stewart implored us all to remember that Trump and the Vatican both have many things in common. And you've got to remember that at the end of the day, Trump, you, and the Catholic Church both care deeply about the same thing, covering up sex scandals. Just thought it was pretty. Can't we all come together? This is actually the picture that the president shared of him. Oh, I'm wrong. It's apparently somebody's made him healing Epstein, and then Ghislaine Maxdale is standing by. Erica Kirk is crying crocodile tears. Vladimir Putin smiles in the background, and a smiling Charlie Kirk is beaming down from heaven, from Cold War Steve. But no, the actual was really weird. Even Jon Stewart noted that it looked like he was trying to heal Jon Stewart. So that's a weird thing. That's a weird thing. Also, I don't know if you caught the footage from when the Tangerine Toddler announced the bombing of Iran, but it was at the Easter egg roll on the White House lawn, and he made that bunny follow him around all day. He's just the bunny. There's a guy in a suit there, just listening to him say the same shtick over and over again, such as "she's a low IQ person," which is what you want to talk about at an Easter egg roll. He's so weird. Here's a picture of former President Biden with the Artemis crew posing in the Oval Office with President Biden because it was his administration that planned the whole Artemis mission of sending the spacecraft around the moon, just in case the felon tries to take credit. So this is posted by friend of the show. Trumpiness is a Hugh Jassole. So that was fun. Instead of going to the Iran negotiations, he said JD Vance, and he went to a UFC fight with Dana White. Is that the right name? Somebody else is gonna have to tell me. I'm not an
Yep.
expert here. And made it weird. Like creeped on the boys doing the fighting. Creeped on them. It was ugly. Meanwhile, he decided to somehow try to play a reverse Uno card on Iran and said, "You're going to blockade the Strait of Hormuz? No, we're going to blockade the Strait of Hormuz," which is weird because the purpose was to unblockade the Strait of Hormuz. So that's unprecedented once again. Meanwhile, a Chinese tanker just sailed through Trump's Strait of Hormuz blockade. So China was just like, yeah, Taco Tuesday. Taco needs seasoning because Trump always caves in. So the blockade was as effective as a do not enter sign made of wet paper towels. Word has it, too, they were flicking him off on the way through. In the meantime, New York is doing okay. Getting New York City to believe in government. Zoran Mandami is just having historical success, like impressing New Yorkers, which seems weird to even say. And, I don't know. They also summed it up with a nice headline: "The war is bad, the ceasefire doesn't exist, and the future is awful." So there you go. That is pretty much all the news worthy of reporting. But we always like to end up on Facebook for the Blind depressing news with a heartwarming animal closer. And friend of the show, Steve, up in Chicago, captured this photo of a murder bird. Come on, how heartwarming is that? Look at that cycle of life.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Even in Chicago, they're taking out the weak. They're taking out the weak and getting strong doing it. That is everything. That's it. That's all I got. That's all the depressing news I can even tell you about. I'm sure there was more. Oh, hey, good news. Hungarian dictator Viktor Orban voted out in a landslide and was embarrassed because JD Vance, was over there on his way to the Iran debate negotiation. Whatever he caved on. Anyway, that was it. Now, this is the funny part of the show. This is where I hand it off to my beautiful co-host for a nice, I'm assuming, average round one, full of ostensibly wholesome memes.
One day I'll understand what the fuck you're talking about when you do the news. No, actually I won't. All right. We're gonna start off the round wholesome with PSR7M. Still haven't followed them. There's too many of them going around. And this one has a nice, cute pink background, and it says, "I hate it when my wife asks me to hold her bag, and I'm not wearing anything that matches."
Ah,
Sad emoji and a bag emoji. This
nice.
one is Pop Culture Punk, and it is the movie poster to The Lost Boys. But there you have the
Nice.
main character up front, and behind him is Ice Cube, Cuba Gooding Jr., and Ricky from Boys in the Hood. And this one is labeled The Lost Boys in the Hood.
Okay, I like
And
that
this
one.
and you thought Santa Carla was bad. I have no idea who Santa Carla is. I'm just gonna move on.
Oh, that's the
Um.
town. That's the
Oh,
terrible
okay.
town where the vampires are.
Oh, okay. Way better than Santa Clara because that's where the Niners get to lose. Um,
Hey,
yeah, and
I've
I
been to
didn't even.
Santa Clara.
You've been there?
I've been to Santa Clara.
Nice. I've never been to Santa Carla though.
No, never been to Santa
I
Clara.
have stopped in Santa Clarita to eat at the Olive Garden on the way back from LA. Um,
How's it?
I will tell you, I did enjoy Boys in the Hood. I did not like the Lost Boys growing up, and everybody has been upset with me for this. And I don't even
Huh.
remember if it was a good movie or not. I just remember the very first time I watched it, my niece literally like ejected the tape from the VCR, or not ejected it, but just immediately hit rewind and then hit play again. And she did that for every movie she was watching when we were growing up. And so I hate The Lost Boys. I hate Grease. I hate a whole bunch of movies that a lot of people hate me for hating. Anyways, this one has no name, and it's a oldie but goodie. And I don't know if I've done it on this show before, but it says my girlfriend told me to take the spider out instead of killing it. We went and
Mm.
had drinks. Cool guy. Wants to become a web developer.
Ma.
This one's blowing up history and the ancient scientists, and it is a picture of it is like a jug of it's like a white jug, but the shadows hitting on it makes it kind of look like
Oh,
some kind of face.
yeah.
And it says ancient skull proof of our alien origins. And every time I see this meme, I go into the comments and I immediately write in, "Take me to your liter," but I spell liter
Ah.
Liter, liter. Take me to your liter. That's a measurement pun. Anyways, dumbass photoshops by Joe. I didn't get to do this one last time I was here because I got it the next day. And it is a cartoon AI picture of April O'Neil from the Ninja Turtles, but it has Mr. T's face on it. And it says, "It's April, fool!" All right, we're just gonna move on. Gen X. I only put this one in Gen X and somebody named Rob Morris. I just wanted to see if was this a thing for you guys? It says was gleeking on each other only a Gen X thing?
Oh,
Dudes,
what the
pretty
fuck?
much.
I don't know what that means.
So gleeking for us was when back in the days in like elementary school, middle school, we would lift up our tongue and then like this stream of like it's not spit, but saliva would come out of your mouth and it just you probably don't know what it is. So I
Huh.
guess it wasn't a thing in Champagne then.
No,
If you
never did that. Never even heard about that.
yeah, it does say dudes only, man, but all right.
What it is, but well, wait, I don't remember seeing anybody doing
Katie
that
says she's
though.
heard of it. Maybe it's a coastal thing.
Could be. I've never even heard of it.
Maybe I don't know. We didn't really do it on each other. We would do it for distance. We'd be like, who could go the farthest? And if you ate something sour, you would go farther than you usually go. So I don't know how that works. Anyways, I just once I seen the meme, I was like, I gotta ask these people from other sides of the country if that's the thing anywhere else. So apparently, it wasn't just a Gen X thing; it was like a Gen X in certain areas thing. But this one is Donna Rosen. Where do you find these memes? And it says me. There's a full moon this Easter. You know what that means? Them blank. Me blank. Them werewolf Jesus. Me cocking shotgun. Werewolf Jesus.
Love it.
This one's the Bizarro comics, and it is a cartoon of a bunch of socks at the
Hmm.
laundromat. But the socks are the military, and the leader sock he has on a military hat, and the other socks they're waiting in line for instructions, and the leader says, "Odds are some of you won't be coming back from this mission."
I understand that reference.
Juicy memes with flavor, and Brandon Fokin
Hmm.
writes, "What if you named your kid Xavier, but you spelled it Eggsavior, egg
Oh,
savior?"
oh God, that's horrible.
And I seen my friend
Ouch.
Xavier Bronson last night at the mic. Oh man, I wish I would have told him that one. On this day 6 years ago, except it wasn't this day, it was April 4th, 2020. Brain Damage wrote, to Diane, we got to be ready for this tomorrow. And comedian Ryan Davis posted, myself, Cedric the Entertainer, Chris Tucker, Mike Epps, Michael Blackson, Gary Owen, D.L. Hughley, and others will be a part of the same Facebook live stream Sunday night at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. That, if you did not know, Eric, was the very first Zoom comedy show that
No
Diane
shit.
and I attended, and then that got us started on our Zoom comedy rabbit hole that led us to you,
Hey!
Ron, and all kinds of other cool people. And yeah, that was, and they didn't even really do comedy on that show as much as like this was during the height of the pandemic, and like they just were like calling each other on Zoom and being like, "How are you coping with this?"
Oh,
And it
nice.
was one of those times where there was all like, "We all gotta stay inside," and I'm like, "Bitch, you have a mansion that you can walk, like you can pretend
Yeah.
you're walking outside."
You can do
You know what I mean?
laps inside.
Yeah, motherfucker. But I'm glad we did it. This
Yeah.
one is ESPN MMA, and it is a 2-panel. In the first panel, we have Alex Pereira, Anderson Silva, John Jones, and George St. Pierre, all reaching for the UFC title belt, showing that this is like the GOATs of MMA, all reaching for the title belt. Then in the second panel, we have Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Vincente Jr., and Mbappe, all reaching for the World Cup. So that was a cool little parody that I thought I'd throw in there just for my own sake. I think that's Vincente Jr., which is I don't know why he's a goat. I know he's pretty good, but I think unless that's Pele and they just look alike, and but I
Huh.
don't think that was Pele.
I
It
wouldn't.
should have been
Yeah.
Pele. Anyways, meme life and Stellista. Don't make your name confusing for me, okay? Anyways,
Oh.
she shows a picture of Squidward in his 90s laying in bed reading a book, smiling from ear to ear. And it says, me rereading my own post every time someone likes it. And Squidward says, ah, yes, quality content. Checkpoint
Oh.
Alpha, and it says,
Ah.
done by Ink Riot Gods. And it is just a picture of the Cobra Commander with his, but he has on like, I don't know if that's Destro's face. Cobra Commander also sometimes has a silver face, but usually it's just a blue hood. But that is like a silver Destro face, but Cobra Commander's got shades on and a backwards hat with his arms crossed, and it says Cobra with the way you spell bruh, BRUH. Cobra.
Bruh.
Right. And this one's Matthew Wade, and it says degenerate as fuck, and it's a picture of the Metallica Master of Puppets, but it is DX, Shawn Michaels and Triple H doing the suck it motion where they cross their arms and put it over their crotch, and when they say, let's get ready to suck it, and this one says Metallica, Master of Suck It. And look down there in the corner, it says WWF. It's the old WWF logo because that's when WWF was WWF before the Pandas came and took the F, and now they're WWE.
Did you say the pandas?
Yeah, the Pandas. Invincible and Emiliano Hernandez puts past the butter. I'm feeling frizzy, and there's a picture of Red Lobster in the first panel. And in the second panel, there's a picture of Oliver sitting behind the tree, rubbing his hands together like the meme with the guy with the yellow jacket always stalking his
Oh,
prey. And if you
yeah.
watched the latest episode of Invincible, then you understand this. If you didn't, my bad for spoilers. And
I'm
an
good.
invincible Omni post says Woodbang, and this time it is the actual guy with his yellow jacket, rubbing his actual hands, licking his lips, stalking behind the tree, but they put Oliver's hairstyle and mask over him, and it says POV, you're a lobster in the tank at Red Lobster. And if you're not watching Invincible, Oliver is half something. I always thought it was like praying mantis when Omni Man was on their planet, but there's been a lot of lobster memes, and Oliver did tell his father Omni Man one time we were at the Red Lobster, and the lobster was looking at me funny, and I felt all fuzzy inside, and his dad was like, "Oh shit, son," and changed the topic. And yeah, he was like, "I still ate it though." That was a joke. That was a joke we didn't need in the cartoon, even though that cartoon is not made for children. Anyways, this
no.
one's gonna end the round for me. This one's LW Able. I don't know them, but it is a picture of like a city, and inside the water near that city, there's a bunch of boats, and there's a giant Curious George and a giant Barney the dinosaur, and it says, "Man, my bootleg man is tripping." King Kong versus Godzilla, and that is from the Superhero Club X. And that's gonna do it for me for the wholesome round. I hope it was long enough for you, Eric.
That
Pause.
was beautiful. That was beautiful. And I gotta say, I am kind of curious to see Curious George tear Barney's fucking head off. That would really, that would be satisfying. You know, like I don't know if you were around when that was playing, but that was the baby shark of its day, and it was whoo, psychotic and
Real quick
juicy.
before you start, I did not
Yeah.
see this in the chat, but Jack wrote that he's 35 and they gleeked at Percival High School, and then
Uh,
Diane clarified it comes from the hole under your tongue. That's where the gleek comes from, Eric.
okay.
Okay, moving along.
You squirt water from under your tongue. Okay. I'm kind of getting that. Yeah. All right. Yay. All right. Facebook for the blind. Moving on to my round one. Oh my God. The wholesome round. So wholesome. I just want to remind you guys, this is freaking cool. 2 years ago was the eclipse, and dig this picture of the eclipse. It was freaking spooky and awesome. I think that's what Venus in the background. This little star here is Venus. And then this week we got this shot from behind the moon of this moonrise, like this crescent Earth, and it's just cool. I don't know. I think this is neat too. If you look at the side of this, it almost looks fake, like jaggy, like bad computer graphics, and it's because there's no atmosphere on the moon, and like, and so there's no rounding at all. It's just this jaggedy friggin' line, and I don't know. I thought it was cool. So there's your wholesomeness. Here, friends of the show, Robert Anton Wilson fans, friend David Urasek has posted this from the management. It says a picture of a monk, and it says, "Monk who claims he saw face of Jesus in his margarine tub said, I can't believe it's not Buddha." I gotta know my God out of Katie on that one. I like it. Here we have a bartender doing some of that, shaking from Movers and Shakers. And he says, "For my next trick, I'm going to say something sarcastic in a serious tone, and you'll have to guess if I'm joking or not." Which is the game, always. It's so funny. So funny how many people don't speak sarcasm. Eyebrows loading at 8% at Fuck Off Garden says, "Just found out my entire personality is a trauma response." I know. A little too relatable. Oh, I missed this headline. Meta, the Facebook company, our namesake, sort of, is creating an AI version of Mark Zuckerberg so that the staff can talk to the boss. Oh, great. That's what every worker wants. The ability to talk to the boss anytime, anywhere, anywhere. And I realized, oh my God, like Mark Zuckerberg is a reverse Pinocchio. You know how, like, Pinocchio, the blue fairy said, "If you prove yourself brave, truthful, and unselfish, someday you'll be a real boy." And Zuckerberg's like, "If you prove yourself to be cowardly enough and a liar and as selfish as possible, someday you can be an even more wooden marionette." Dystopian events repackaged as feel good stories are really getting old. Friend of the show group, and if you're not following them, you are missing out, has posted this from Gotham Chief. TikTokers are now speed running Scientology buildings in Los Angeles to see how far they can get before being thrown out. And Gotham Chief says, "Imagine being the TikToker that makes it all the way to the Tom Cruise room." Thank you for posting this. No astronauts allowed. Leet Jigsaw. Uh, the Covenant, acquaintance of the show, has posted this picture of the School of Rock star. Remember the kid with the guitar facing felony charges for guitar theft? And the Covenant says, "Well, you're not hardcore unless you live hardcore." The Covenant has headlined it Guitar Hero to Guitar Zero.
Oh man.
That's several tight jokes Friend of the show and my former employer, The Onion, says soaring gas prices forcing more Americans to drink less gas. With a picture of a guy just chugging it from the hose. A guy at the pump is quoted as saying, I mean, I'm thirsty. But friend of the show and host of our local mic, Christine Yanakis. And if you're not following Christine Yanakis, you're missing out on some quality surrealism, really. Has posted this picture from Grind at 6 Rond. And it's a picture of a toilet that is a ceramic horse. So you can ride this ceramic horse while you use the toilet. And Kristen says, "When I say I'm riding reverse cowgirl, this is where I am." That is rebel. That is just as rebel and punk rock as you can be. If you're reverse cowgirl and your toilet. So, in your face, West Coast. Regional pizzas is a poster of 9 pizzas posted by Kathy Roth. And if we spend as much time on ourselves as we do on memes, we'd be better people. And if you're not following them, I don't blame you. You're a coward, but I don't blame you. They posted 9 regional pizzas. New York, it's a thin crust topped with cheese. Chicago, it's deep dish smothered in mafia bribes. Philly, thick and square, just like the people who live there. And I'll have you know that my Philly friends took issue with this. St. Louis, terrible crust covered with shame. Awful, but locals pretend to like it. And guys, if you have not had St. Louis pizza in St. Louis, they coat it in this white synthetic cheese, and I hope you can hear my air quotes around that they call I don't even, it's Provel. It's not, it's like a white Velveeta. It's not, it's a, every day we stray further from God. Okay. Anyway, Detroit, an American tire covered in cheese. California, on fire. That looks accurate to me. That's Ohio Valley, square crust topped with the tears of whoever made it. Texas, Texas, Texas is just an old boot covered in ants. Boston, Boston is a plate of 3 tacos. They followed the wrong recipe and they're too stubborn to admit it's not pizza. Those are your 9. And of all the regions slammed, only Philly complained. Make of that what you will. Here we have a friend of the show, The Onion. U.S. fertility rate has plummeted to pre-Nick Cannon levels. If you hadn't seen, our fertility rate plummeted. The Onion also posted about Sam Altman's Molotov thrower. Apparently, the man who threw the Molotov cocktail at Sam Altman's home claims that he was following ChatGPT's recipe for risotto. I've been using ChatGPT to help with cooking for a while now, so I didn't think too much of it when the ingredients list included a bottle filled with gasoline. Friend of the show and founding zaddy, George Hussein Cruikshank, has posted this from Octopus/Caveman at Octopus Caveman. Said, I posted, quote, I am the first man in my bloodline to jack off in an Arby's on Facebook, and my uncle replied, not true. That that has been the most Georgie closer of round 1, ostensibly wholesome and algorithm. Back to you, Brain.
Damn, I don't know what the fuck you said, but it was so fucking inspiring that my backpack just fell over out of nowhere. My backpack was like, I can't even with this guy.
The backpack has validated me.
Yeah. All right, so this one is Mimi Family, which I think is also substituting for Meme Family, but the Mimi is too highlighted. So, and they said I used to walk to school at 7:20 a.m. and be suspended by 7:21 a.m. And that's literally how I got kicked out of high school. I was like walking down the stairs, and the security guard told me to take my hat off. I took my hat
Oh.
off, and I had a razor blade in like the little thing of my hat, and that fell to the floor. And he was like, "Out of here!" And I was like, "That wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was definitely me."
Brain, you know what I love? You always bring relatable content.
Yeah, relatable only to my stupid ass self.
No, hey, we've all had a weapons thing ruin a perfectly good day.
All right, cool. Glad I'm not alone on this one.
Not at all.
This one is cured by cannabis. I should have followed him. Because I
Oh.
have not been cured by cannabis. And it is a picture of. I'm assuming that's was that movie called Flubber? I think that was Flubber, but
Oh yeah, Flubber. I
like
remember Flubber.
it's like
I
a
saw Flubber.
green gooey little guy, and then it says, "Do a little dab, smoke a little nug, get high tonight." All right.
Down.
This one is adulting with a side of memes and somebody named Sarah Pearl. And it says the only truck I would buy, and it is like a khaki colored Toyota truck, and but it just says toy really big in stickered letters, TOY, and then there's a sticker of Yoda from Star Wars. And then there's a sticker of a taco in a taco shell. And then the letters MA. So actually it says Toyota Tacoma. No. All right. Move on. This one's the Boys 7 posting and lib memes. And it said it should have come with a warning. And it is a picture of Invincible holding his ears to a sonic boom type of sound, screaming in agonizing pain, some blood coming out of his ears like he's just going, ah! And it's labeled when you're watching The Boys and Kamiko starts talking. Yeah, I know you don't watch that show anymore, but this newest season they have Kamiko talking, and it's not even realistic where she like has an accent or she's struggling with her words. No, this I won't say the B word, but they have her just speaking full on, just fluid English and just like it's upsetting. I wish there was better writing. I love this show, but anyways, we're gonna move on. This one is Red Pills and Rabbit Holes, Jeff Christopher, and it is 3 panel. And the first panel is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, but when he has the black, not exactly Venom suit, but when he was kind of becoming Venom, a little bit of symbiote in him. But he's smiling smugly, and it says, "Dogs, when they hear good boy."
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some lady, I'm not sure who she is, but she's smiling, and she has her hand up next to her face. And it says, "Cats, when they hear..."
Right.
And there we have James Franco looking like he is very skeptical as Harry, and it says, "Birds when they hear my anti-government rhetoric."
Ah!
I
uh,
love that one. Even though I don't believe in the whole birds are robots thing. I mean, I'm sure there's a few of them out there, but not all of them. Come on, man. You gotta mix them in. You know what I mean? This one's Sean Young. And look, they played Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back. And then they tagged somebody named McKenna Spencer. I'm not sure who McKenna Spencer is, but I'm pretty sure Sean thinks she has a big butt. Because there's some dude next to a tree. I wish TD was here because he probably knows who this dude is. But he's got some kind of mullet and some glasses and a porn stash and a pink long sleeve shirt on, and he's looking very smug. And it says, "Do you have an inhaler? Because you got that ass, ma." Get it? Asthma. No? All right, we're not going to do any asthma jokes. This one's from Invincible and Tan May Tinkle. And it has Lucan from Invincible, one of the Viltrumites, but they kind of made his face look a lot like Steve Harvey's AI face. And it says, "Lucan about to announce Miss Viltrum." You remember when Steve Harvey announced the wrong Miss Universe? Remember that, Eric?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. That's a throwback. This one's from Blamuel L. Jackson, and it is a picture of the Beetlejuice movie poster. I'm thinking the original one at that. but it is Dave Chappelle dressed as Little John on the Chappelle Show, and his head over Beetlejuice's body, and it is labeled Skeetlejuice. Oh, skeet, 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 motherfucker.
Oh my god.
Skeetlejuice. And this one's Burn These Memes. And it says to infinity and I forgot. Oh yeah, and beyond. There's a picture of somebody in a Buzz Lightyear costume smoking a blunt or a cigar or something, sitting on some folding chairs outside of a venue, and it is labeled Buzz Lightyear. And then we've got an AI picture of Mario with Walter White holding a bag of blue. And this is Burning These Memes as well, and it's labeled Super Methio 3D. It's a me, a Matthew. And this one's handed a meme, and it has Cartman driving a Mario Kart above Rainbow Road and it is labeled Mario Cartman. That's fun.
Huh. Yeah.
This one's from 4 years ago. On April 1st, 2022, I posted a picture of the Italian soccer logo, and I said, how do you go from winning Euro 2020 and then not qualifying for the World Cup in 2022, Azeri? The fuck, damn it. But that was not the only year we did not qualify, because we did not qualify this year either. And we didn't qualify the World Cup before that one either. So Clutch Points posted an AI picture that says the Zidane curse, and it shows Zinedine Zidane headbutting Maserati in the 2010 World Cup, which Italy ended up winning on penalties, and then has done immensely terrible and more terrible in the World Cup since. Because in the next two World Cups, they got eliminated in the group stage. That means they didn't even make it past round one in the cup, and they were defending champions. And then it shows missed the World Cup in 2018, missed the World Cup in 2022, and missed the World Cup in 2026. This shit is depressing. God damn it.
Mm.
And this one's Board Panda Anime, and it's a picture of a barn. And it says, don't speak Italian to goats, because that barn has a sign on it that shows a goat eating from a hand, and it is crossed out. But the hand is, it's coming up like it's feeding the goat, but it's also the cliche the Italians. Oh, yeah. You know what?
I understand that reverence.
And then this one is the footballer, the football troll, sorry. And it shows a picture of the Italian logo, and then it says Italy still boycotting World Cup where human rights are not guaranteed, and it shows 2018 and shows the Russian flag crossed out, 2022 the Qatar flag crossed out, and 2026 the American flag crossed out. So this whole time Italy's been boycotting the World Cup when it's at places that human rights are not guaranteed. This whole time I thought they were losers. This one's somebody named Ivan YX, and it is an AI picture of Friday where Smokey, aka Chris Tucker, is sitting on the porch, but he's passing the blunt to Smokey the Bear, and Smokey the Bear has Smoke from Mortal Kombat waiting in the wings to get that blunt passed to him. It's a meeting of the Smokies, Eric.
I'd sit with those guys.
Is there one more after this? I guess there's one. This one's Kelly Walker, and it says, today I heard someone say, real wealth is mental health. Great. I'm broke twice now. And this one's the last one for me. I was going to end it on that one, but I switched the order just so we could end on something fun. Because Ron Stoker says, eggs fucking exactly. And there's an AI cartoon of a picture of a man who looks very mad and he's holding his finger up and says, say no to reefer. And we look that he's standing next to a bag of weed, and the bag of weed says, how about you save some for later? And he says, no. We say no to reefer, Eric. Say no to reefer.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
it's
but he's saying no to reefer as in, I'm not going to save you for later. I'm going to smoke you all right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are in episode 253. I know, neither of us can believe it freaking either. Uh, and looking forward to doing my segundo round. Duh. Uh, Friend of the show, Jay Sukow, took on the Pope president fiasco and posted this picture of Trump as Sherlock Holmes, apparently smoking a pipe, putting the cuffs on the Pope, and uh, and he's captioned it: President Trump has full authority over the Vatican, and with Christ as his deputy, oh, that is Jesus as his deputy, he'll make sure the Pope is properly arrested for blasphemy against our political leaders. It's like, there's a there's a police chopper in the sky over the Vatican. It's all very silly. Yet another weird take on the photo. They changed the American flag in the background of the president, tangerine toddler Messiah, to the Israeli flag. They kept Ghislaine Maxwell is now praying, besides Epstein, who he's healing with his glowy hands, while Benjamin Netanyahu looks on. And in the sky, and this is a weird thing, there's like, I don't know, the lead singer of Guar in between dead soldiers coming out of the sun there. Uh, People have said it's demonic because he's just in your face going, look, demons coming back and approving of what I'm doing. I don't know, weird stuff, man. Cold War Steve, as mentioned before, had this edit where we have a sort of a smiling Charlie Kirk with sunbeams coming out of his face, looking down on him, healing Jeffrey Epstein. I like the crocodile tears on Erica Kirk and Putin smiling as that's going on there. The Star Trek Forever fans, of course, had a field day with it and made it instead Doctor Bones from Star Trek, and changed all the flying stuff in the sky to Klingon and Star Trek vessels, and Bones is healing Kirk's head. And he says, "Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a messiah," which would have been a really good line for Bones to have done in the classic Star Trek thing there. I thought it was really funny that Trump's claim was that he had mistakenly posted this picture because he thought he was dressed as a doctor. You remember this scene from the Oval Office, which I posted again as Dr. Trump to the Oval Office, stat, Dr. Trump. Remember the guy passed out and just fell down? I found out that photo actually won an award, which I think is hilarious. The photographer Andrew Harnick has been awarded the White House Correspondents Association Award for Excellence in Presidential News Coverage by the visual journalist for the following photo, which is entitled "The Sighing and the Dying." Literally true. I think is hilarious. And somebody noticed Steve, my friend Jack, posted this. Even Steve Eredi says, even moron demonic, which is a weird play on words, kind of funny. Says that the Scheisse House edited the original photo at the request of the felonious Trump to add a demon. Because I guess in the original of this, there was another dead soldier coming back to supervise Trump's healing of Jon Stewart. I don't know. It's weird. But it got jiggered, and they put in, like I said, the lead singer of Guar's silhouette there. And it said, President Trump posted an AI image of himself as Jesus performing the miracle of healing the sick. The creepiest part? Trump made the one change from the original image. He changed the veteran into a horned demon in the center top. Now, why would they do that? And people were like, because he's despicable. But the evangelicals were like, no, he's the Antichrist. More fun was these of Godzilla in the background, and then Godzilla torching him, signed off by artist Yo Mama. Really, really good work there with the Godzilla fire breath and the flames around him. Also, a lot of a recurring theme. A lot of Donald J. Trump as a horned demon surrounded by fire and demons in the pits of hell, which is pretty cool. The claim that he was a doctor spawned this picture of the Last Supper with Jesus in scrubs and a stethoscope around his neck, as I think we all remember him. This classic Jesus knocking at the door from Bethlehem Green, captioned, "Your doctor knocking on the door before he enters the exam room." It's just the way you picture it. Same one. Oh, no, sorry. That is exactly the same one. Here we have a picture of him entering the emergency room, and there are people in surgery in scrubs, and they're like, "Sir, can we help you?" Donald J. Trump says, "No, I work here." Justice. Jesus. And the, of course, Halloween costume here. Doctor, adult costume. It's Jesus with the burning heart, the red robes. Includes a robe with attached red drape. a Sacred Heart chest emblem, and a halo headpiece. You know, a doctor. And finally, this is what I'm telling everyone. This is a picture of Jesus ascending and everyone worshiping him. It says, "My doctor telling everyone he's now out of network." Oh. I believe that is the fin de la round deux. C'est la fin. That's the end of this round. And I'm fairly certain that my speakers are off and I can't hear you. And that's it. Handing it back to you, Brain, for the penultimate round. Round 3.
Round 3. Fight!
Round. Fight!
This one is anime memes, and it says, yeah, don't make me flip the switch. And this one says, or so it says, this is what I mean when I say don't make me get out of character. And it is someone inside of a Pikachu costume, but their arm is coming out of the Pikachu's mouth and choking someone.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I mean when I say don't make me get out of character.
Yep.
And this one's Young Americans for Liberty. And it says Happy April Fool's Day. And there's a picture of a rooster on a couch. And says every day is April Fool's if you're still trusting the government.
Ah.
This one's Wanabe Comedy. And it just says, "We depressed!" Or whatever the fuck DJ Khaled be yelling in all his songs.
Mm. Ah.
I can't stand DJ Khaled, but that was a good one. The Looney Critter says, I ordered family reunion shirts. And it is 6 different pictures of straight jackets. And it says, cute, one size fits all.
Now that actually is fun. That's a little fun.
And this one is Red Pills and Rabbit Holes. And this picture of J. Jonah Jameson, who's all, what's this guy's name again? I think it's something.
Oh, yeah, it's like, yeah.
I forget his name, but he's
yeah.
in the State Farm commercials as well, and he's also the voice of Omni-Man and Invincible. And
yes.
Anyways, he has
J.K.
his hand
Rowling.
out, and he says, "They say that the first arrest will shock the world." And he says, "Hell, at this point, any arrest would shock us."
Yeah, that's true.
And this one's from April 1st, 2021. I posted, okay, so it's been almost a full week since I got my second vaccine dose, and today I woke up with a 6th toe on my left foot. And way down at the bottom, I put, April's Fool's Day is fun. This one is terrible as fuck. Somebody named Phil Neville has an AI picture of Jesus praying on a rock. And he says, Jesus, hey, Dad, look what I can do. And it shows his praying hands, but next to his praying hands it says FTTTTT, FTTTTT, and FTTTTT. That means he's making fart noises with his hands. They go, hey, Dad, look what I can do. And Dad says, God, not for long, son. I didn't get this one at first. I was like, I know it's funny, but I don't know why. And Diane was like, because he's gonna have holes in his hands. This one's Mr. Grouchy, and I'm upset that person took my name. And it says IRS and EBT or whatever Aretha Franklin said. IRS and EBT. Find out what it is for me. All right. Photoshop's made by 2. Oh man, I forgot to follow. And it says Vladimir Putin. And actually, they did put their hashtag on there. It's at Tommy Smashups or Tommy's Mashups, one or the other. And Vladimir Putin has a picture of Bill Cosby's face photoshopped in over Vladimir Putin.
Oh.
And this one's from Mary J. Rutwart, PhD. And it says, she may be onto something. It is a picture of Lisa Simpson making a TED Talk. And her poster behind her says, politics are just WWE for people who think they're smart.
I concur with this opinion.
We could relate, Eric. Oh, look at that. She's back to back, Mary J. Rutwart, PhD. And it says, kind of sad if you think about it. And this one's like an AI cartoon, sort of in the style of Fairly Odd Parents with the gigantic eyeballs there, and the guy he is just like in awe of this woman. There's a woman dancing, and his eyes are like googly eyes. He's smiling. He's holding his hands to his face, and it says, "Idolizing a politician is like believing the stripper really likes you." This one's from Mean Dave, Mr. Meaningful. And it says Little Ceasefire, but it's an AI picture of Little Caesar's pizza, but it has tacos instead of pizzas on the spear and in his hand, and it is Donald Trump's face over Little Caesar. And it is Little Ceasefire.
I like that.
Nice.
I want that. Send me that one.
This one's MMA Community and Low Kick MMA and David Duarte. It's a 2-panel, and he says Joseph Benavidez is a real one. And it shows Donald Trump shaking Joe Rogan's hand, John Anik's hand, Daniel Cormier's hand, and you just see Joseph Benavidez sitting 2 rows back, just looking at them like, I'm not getting to shake this motherfucker's hand. And then in the second panel, it's like an old Nazi photo where everybody has their arm out, and then we zoom in on the one guy who does not. He has his arms folded, and they circled him, and then they circled Benavidez. And then this one's the last one for me, is Clifton Bobo with Lisa doing her TED Talk again, and her poster says, waterboarding at Guantanamo Bay sounds super rad if you don't know what either one of those things are. Waterboarding. I'm going waterboarding at Guantanamo Bay, y'all. I don't think you know what that means, buddy. All right,
fine. It's gonna be a good time. Come on down. We'll have a few laughs. We'll go waterboarding. He's thinking it's a jacuzzi. He's like,
right.
I'm thinking it's probably got knobs, on a board.
Waterboarding at Guantanamo Bay.
Round 3, fight. Jay Black is funny, says the sky is on fire and the radiation is so torn its way through our insides that we wouldn't be able to eat even if we had any food. Out of the black smoke stumbles a man with a torn and tattered red hat. Through cracked lips, he says, "You don't get it. He's playing 4D chess." It's like a sci-fi joke. I came up with this one myself. I said the hardest part of a 6-week war is the first 20 years. That's a oof joke. Robert Anton Wilson fans, friend of the show, making a second appearance in the show with all this propaganda about acceptance is very concerning to me. Which I thought was, true. Here we have a picture of Drewski as the first lady, and she says, "I did not make fucks with Jeffrey Epstein." From behind the podium. Drewski's funny. The Onion, my former employer, says the president is clearly enraged at somebody, but the clip provides far too little context to know who exactly is meant to be targeted, said political analyst Alan Mueller. Headline, Trump escalates feud with unclear adversary by posting AI video of self-fucking basketball. And the first comment is, well, he just posted a picture of himself as Jesus, so it's not far off. Trumpiness is a huge asshole. Friend of the show has posted this award, says Nobel Pedophile Prize, awarded to Donald J. Trump in recognition of your outstanding contributions in the field of pedophilia. From Stockholm, from the committee. If we spent as much time on our lives as we did on our memes, friend of the show and a group I recommend, has posted this picture of a lovely Southern Revival home with those huge 2-story columns, ionic columns in the front, coming off of a nice concrete slab porch. And it says, cash offers only, no access to see lower level, and home sold as is only, with acknowledgement that home will convey with persons living in lower level with no lease in place. Great opportunity to own in Mantua. Large, spacious colonial on Cul-de-sac Street. Big kitchen with back door to deck area, renovated years back with 42-inch cabinets, vinyl floor, Formica countertops, original windows. And Riza at Riza Bree says, selling your house in Fairfax, Virginia, $800,000. Making your squatter somebody else's problem, priceless. This comes as is with a person in the basement. Robert Anton Wilson fans making a third appearance in the show with Ian Fremmer, who's got this picture with Jesus Christ walking by the ocean with Trump, and it says, "What would Jesus do?" And then Jesus is trying to drown him. I think is a valid answer. I mean, if you could flip over the tables in the temple of the money changers, I think, yeah. And finally, the other 98% has this from Personality of Colt. It says, today told my wife to have dinner ready by 6 or I'll obliterate her entire civilization. So anyway, she now charges me a fee to use the bathroom that I used to be free, and I didn't get any dinner. But I'm pretty sure I won that. That is the end of my round 3, the ostensibly penultimate round. Throwing it back to you, leaving only my post with the most. Throwing it back to you, brain damage.
All right, post of the most incoming. Let's see what we got. Oh my goodness, 3 years ago on April 1st, 2023, I posted, what makes church people just decide to hold down the corner yelling at people about the Bible? I'm gonna order me a bullhorn and try pushing my agenda too. So I'll be on the corner every Saturday yelling at everyone, go home and watch the fight, stupid! Which means that bit that I have about go home and watch the fights was born 3 years ago on April 1st. I can't believe I came up with it on April Fool's Day. That is an actual joke that I do now.
Wow.
And every once in a while, I'm rolling by that corner and the people are out there yelling into their loudspeaker, and I yell it out the window. I go, go the fuck home and watch the fight, bitch! And it's not even fight night when I do that, Eric. It's not even fight night. It's like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Fight nights are Fridays and Saturdays. So
but
yeah,
sometimes you're moved by the spirit.
Exactly.
All right, wrapping it up with my post with the most. This one, and I'm sorry, man. But you know what they say: don't kill the messenger and everything. And I don't like this guy for president. I want to be very clear with that. But your governor Newsom had posted all caps. NATO is never there when we need them. Trump wanted to steal Greenland. Did NATO help? No. Trump wanted to wipe out an entire civilization. Did NATO help? No. Trump declared war on Bruce Springsteen. Did NATO help? No. If NATO doesn't pay its share for the ballroom, it's over. And this one racked up all the likes. And that wraps up an entire episode. I believe we've ticked all the boxes for our constitutional requirements. All of an episode on Facebook for the Blind. So that's it for episode number 253. To everybody out there listening and watching, thank you all so much. We love you. Mwah.
Love you, Beverly. Woo! Woo!
Oh, Beverly.
Excellent. Thanks for listening to an episode of Facebook for the Blind. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.